Okay, welcome to an update that I've been waiting for a very long time. Today we're going to be talking about archguns. Mostly we're going to be talking about this archgun right here. So this is the Larkspur. If you've never seen this weapon before, it's basically, it's just a chain beam weapon. So here it is with no mods equipped. So it's sort of like the Amprex if you've ever used it, or the Torrid. It does have an alt fire here too, which is this charge mode. And then when it's fully charged, you shoot this big rocket that also ragdolls enemies. As far as I'm concerned, the alt fire is not useful. So we will not be focusing on the alt fire at all today. I might try it like once we have a riven actually rolled for it, but for the most part, this is what we're going to be looking at. The reason that we're looking at the Larkspur is because we got Archgun arcane slots. So these two arcane slots are what we're going to be looking at for the most part here. And if you look at the stats for this weapon, what we mostly have here is crit chance that is really, really shit, and status chance that is really, really good. And since we get both a primary and a secondary arcane, we can kind of patch up both of these things and make them much more usable. So the main thing that we're going to be talking about here today is an Enervate Crux setup for this weapon. This is the main idea behind using this weapon. One, it's a really easy weapon to use, and two, it's one of the weapons that got buffed the most by these changes. So Enervate is going to be our main source of critical chance, and then Crux basically makes this proc 2 statuses every single time we deal damage. So altogether, you can kind of see what this looks like even without Arcanes. And we get ammo efficiency, so that like the charge time is less. But you can see that this is basically always critting now, which is a really big deal. It makes this really good. So that's why we're focusing on Larkspur specifically. Another interesting thing to note is that because it's a beam weapons naturally double dip with multi-shot. Because there's not that many sources of multi-shot in the game for archguns, it's like basically this and then this. These are the only two multi-shot mods in the game. This thing sucks. Radiation damage is not good. You don't want to buff this because we're using a beam weapon. So any statuses that we have that isn't a damaging status or like a directly useful status like viral or magnetic is really, really bad. So ideally, I want to replace this mod with something else. I'm not really 100% sure what that thing will be, but I do want to get rid of this. So this is what we're going to be trying to replace. Beyond that, we do have a good amount of damage on archguns for the most part, so these are pretty good. And then one other thing that I do want to point out here is that archguns have a lot of really good elemental mods. These are 120, which compared to regular weapons, they're just like by comparison quite bad. they're 90% versus 120, so these are like another 1.5. Wait, is that how that math works? They're stronger. I'll put the math for exactly how much stronger they are here up on screen so that I don't have to talk it out. But that's kind of the idea here. So we're going to avoid elementals. We're going to avoid crit chance because of Enervate, and then we're going to probably avoid status chance if we can too. But we are going to look for critical damage because critical damage mods are really bad on this weapon. Like, look at this. We get 80%. That's like not that great, right? So ideally we get like critical damage, multi-shot, and then some other useful stat, and then a good negative. So hey, this is future Ignis here. I've actually changed the build since I originally recorded this intro, so I'm going to show you guys what I think is actually the best build now. One thing that I was not aware of, because I didn't really do that much work with Archguns before this, is that there's actually a mod called Sabot Rounds that gives punch through for arc weapons. So punch through is actually surprisingly really good on the Larkspur for a lot of the same reasons that like previously the punch through was good on the Amprex, and the reason that punch through is like still good on a lot of chain beams like this. And that is because when the projectile punches through enemies, it actually will create more chains. So I'm going to show you what this build looks like with and without punch through real quick. And I'm going to hide the riven because by the time that I'm recording this part, it's like after we've already done all the rolls and stuff. So this is that build that I just showed. So we've basically replaced the 60/60 heat mod with just this punch through mod. And look at how much better this thing looks. Like you can definitely tell that the number of chains has made a huge difference here. Really good. Much easier to use too, because you could just hit multiple targets with it. So by comparison, here's the build that I was running before. Found out that this mod existed. So same idea. The only difference is that we're replacing the punch through with some heat. Still very functional. Still quite good. But you will notice that it takes a little bit longer to get through a lot of these enemies. And that's just because it's not hitting twice, right? So I legitimately believe in punch through for this weapon. It does seem to be working. I tested it, seemed to be working. Mika tested it separately. She also thinks it's working. And then the wiki is As a third source, it does say on the wiki that it does work on Larkspur and create more chain beams. So would recommend getting Sabot runs for this. Worth noting, it is a 70 plat mod. So if you want to skip it for a heat mod, I think that's perfectly fine. You can see that this is still going to work just fine in Steel Path. It'll probably work just fine in like EDA or ETA also. So don't really consider it 100% necessary, but just something to think about, right? There is a way to get punched through on these things that isn't from a Riven. So if you don't have a Riven, just get Sabot runs, I guess. Though a Riven might be cheaper if it's 70 plat. Pretty wild. Other thing to note, I am just saying in a Discord call while I record this. So we have a few other people here listening in. One of them is Mika. Hi, say hi to Mika. And then two of her mods, Slyfrog and Raised Molasses is his Discord username. And I'm not going to say the real one because it's weird.
Hey.
But yes, this is the crew for the roles. I didn't want to do a stream because I get nervous about them. So they just get to listen in and let's get started. So our best stat by far, as always, is going to be multi-shot. Multi-shot is just the best thing in the game, just generally. But for Arcane specifically, because our only source of multi-shot is this, we have about like 200% less multi-shot on this compared to a normal weapon. So we really want multi-shot. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. It's good. Second thing that we're going to look at here is probably just crit damage, honestly. This thing's base crit is not that good. So for a lot of this, we're going to be relying on like our pet to have crit damage and stuff, but crit damage is always going to be useful in Enervate setups anyways, so I think it's still probably worth a slot. And part of the reason for that is because the actual crit damage mods for Arcguns are also pretty shit. So these two stats, probably my top two picks. Ammo maximum is actually pretty good. So we'll probably put it down here somewhere. All of the elemental mods are going to be roughly here. Impact, I don't even think we can get this, but we'll just put it down here, I guess. Fire rate is cool. It's probably good, actually. I think probably we just bring this up here. The only issue with it is that because it's an Arcgun, you don't want it to be like wasting all of its ammo, if that makes sense. Because if you have to like drop your Arcgun because you need to pick something up or whatever, using more ammo will make it go on cooldown for longer. So this is probably, you know, like it's not that good. It's bad, but it's a good negative, so we'll put it down here. Damage is cool. Damage is probably just good. I don't care about any of the combined stuff. This is just not good. Crit chance doesn't do anything in an Enervate setup. It just makes like the bottom crit better. And we have a 14% base crit chance anyways. So crit chance is functionally useless. We can even have negative crit chance and I think it's perfectly fine. Same with this. Same idea here. Because Arcgun mods have high elemental mods, we can basically skip these for the most part. I would be okay with heat. Viral would be okay, but this is going to cap out status so fast that we don't really want it to be cold or toxin. So probably heat is the best one here. And then the rest of these are kind of whatever. This is probably good. This will just increase the range, right? Does this matter? Do people think this matters?
Sounds quality of life.
I mean, you said it yourself, using more ammo puts it on cooldown longer. Higher mag, less ammo used, shorter.
Yeah. I guess it's like worse than ammo maximum, right? Because it's going to be less of the maximum ammo contributing to it. So if we have ammo max, I think that's better. So this is probably better. It's like this, if anything. Because this means shorter cooldown. This means shorter cooldown, but worse. So,
That's fair.
I don't know. Its reload speed's kind of bad, so I guess I'll just put this here. I don't care about Banes. I'm only going to be using this for EDA and ETA for the most part. So I don't care about these. Status chance is okay.
I feel like status duration is always a less than idealized stat.
Yeah. I feel like anytime you get status duration, you're like unhappy if it's positive and unhappy if it's negative. It's just, all right, I've been informed that this is a lucky spot to roll. So this is where we're going to be rolling.
It's my house.
This is just in the dojo, but we have a campfire. I'm hoping this gives us like a heat multi-shot crit damage driven. I think that's probably what it means.
If you get that first try, I'm demanding a payment of like 1 penny.
I'll give you 100 platinum if we get a crit damage multi-shot heat.
Holy shit.
That's all I have. Oh, fuck. It's all the way down at the other end of the map. It's like way over there. God damn it. Okay, I guess I'm running back.
Thanks.
I'm going to start rolling. Let's get good stuff.
Rolling.
If we get bad things, I'll put it over here on the right. The people watching this live won't be able to see it, but I don't care. They don't get to see. They'll remember in their hearts which ones were terrible. So
I assume everything is bad unless you tell me otherwise.
Okay, that's a good way to do it, I think. Boom. Damn.
We need the record for.
It's
Okay.
pretty fucking close.
I'll take a screenshot, certainly. Okay, this is our first entry into the Wall of Shame. If you never watched one of these videos before, one of the things that I like to do is highlight the terrible ones so that when people skip the video and get to the end, they can see all the really shitty ones. I think it's important. So it's a huge part of the riven rolling process that I think is skipped over too often. So Photoshop your profile picture where?
Into the Wall of Shame.
Okay, deal. I can do that.
Sick. That's where I belong.
Okay, we determined punch through was the nothing stat, right?
Yeah, it's locked at 0.
It said it was locked. Should we test anyways?
If it's not actually locked, I might lose my fucking mind.
There's actually a tip on the wiki for it. The Larkspur and the Larkspur Prime's overall DPS improves with Sabbat rounds, as the mod allows the gun's energy beam to chain to more enemies, similar to how did Atomos and Tenet Cycron do. Okay, build update for if you are using this weapon without a Riven, replace this with Sabbat rounds. There is actually a Archgun mod that has multi-shot. It's just that it only comes from like Profit Taker and what's it called? Railjack. So the only place you can get it is Profit Taker or Railjack, mostly Railjack. So just go do a bunch of Railjack until you get that, because that shit is good. It's like three punch through and 60% damage, and this will make like extra beams. So just go do that. Okay, tier list fixed. Punch through here. If it's adding more arcs, then we need punch through. So let me update this tier list here. Okay, tier list fixed. We can go back to rolling.
Yeah, let's go gambling. My favorite. On my frame.
You know what I did for that is I switched configs and then I put the health mod on there and then switched back.
That's exactly what I did.
Hell yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Be real with you, Chief.
This is kind of cooler. I kind of like this better. It's like the same stats, but we also get cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably better, right? Like it's
you're losing a little bit of multi-shot and punch through, but I feel like the cold damage would make up for it.
Yeah, but like look at how low this multi-shot roll is. Like we're almost
yeah.
We're losing 7%. Yeah, I agree. Okay, we'll just take it. Both of these suck, so and we have 800,000 Kuva to go through. What the fuck?
Oh.
We just got our second Wall of Shame entry.
You had me worried.
How much pot will you pay for this, Riven?
I'll give you a firm handshake and a fish. How about that?
Huge. Sweet. Why do we stop on the worst Rivens of all time?
Wall of Shame.
Absolutely.
They're up there with me now.
Man, some of these are bad though. Holy shit. Ooh.
Let's check crit damage minus. Ooh. Wait a minute.
Ooh. This was
that could be
just straight up good, right? Like this is just good.
Yeah, that's solid.
I wish its crit damage wasn't so shitty, but at least we have a negative now. And we're getting 20% more multi-shot or something? 16? Something like that. Punch through is like really good though, so I think whatever I end with, probably I want multi-shot on, or punch through on it, but That's the ribbon I want? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you just want punch through as well.
Yeah. I agree. Okay,
I'm not
I'll
gonna
take
lie.
this. Blast with minimum status duration. That's kind of...
That sounds not terrible, actually.
It sounds kind of cool, but it's probably worse. Like, I don't really see it doing better, but it's kind of cool. I mean, like, the bigger issue is that you still want to detonate blast stacks, right?
Yeah.
But this thing's status chance is so high that, like, you probably could still get them off even with this. I think I'd probably skip it, though. Like, we already have one that's pretty good, decent. The only issue with it is that it's, like, only a 2-stat ribbon. Yeah, we'll have to see.
What do you? Oh hell yeah, dude! That's the one for sure.
We have our 4th Wall of Shame
That's
member.
the best one of the night.
That's the best one of the night? Perfect. I believe you.
That's so good.
God roll Riven right here, guys.
God roll. Selling 2,000 platinum. I wish I wasn't so slow at whatever it's called. OBS. Wow. Incredible. Okay. 222.
Hey, I love that number. Wait a minute.
Wait, this one's actually kind of
Sick.
cool though. It's like not
Area
better, but
multi-shot minus impact. It's
Yeah.
definitely not better, but area multi-shot
Definitely an
kind of chill.
okay Riven.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, so
like
the
it-
thing that I like about it is that I can put this over the fire rate
like-
mods. Because the fire rate mod
It's
is 60%, right? So I could just put this in instead and then run punch through over one of the heat mods. So this probably goes over the crit damage mod, if I had to guess. Because like we have to keep the heat mod in there so that we actually have heat. So that we have something resembling armor strip for like really
Yeah.
chunky stuff. I can't just get rid of heat without it like being pure blast and like having to run outsourced viral or something. So yeah, I think it's probably the crit damage one, right? Between the two mods, like the crit damage one's the worst one. So they're kind of the same ribbon, to be honest. It's like this one has 4% more and we're doing minus impact, which is kind of good because like it fixes some of the status weighting. Whereas slash, like there's no slash on this weapon, so this does nothing. So we have to choose between 6% crit damage and negative 2% fire rate and 10 more multi-shot. Okay, I think I've decided. I think I'm going to take the fire rate one because we have like 10% more multi-shot. In both of these replace a mod that are basically like the same value. Like this is replacing an 80% crit damage mod and this is replacing a 60% fire rate mod. So I think this is just better.
certainly sounds like it.
So we're going to take the one that does more damage. And then we're going to replace it with plus impact plus zoom.
Hell
And
yeah,
that'll
dude.
be it.
Heck.
3.
Oh,
Last roll? Okay, I believe you. 2.
yeah. All right, this is the one for sure. This is it.
1. I fucking... Okay, well, whatever.
F.
Fuck. Agreed. This is not that bad. Pretty happy with this. I've certainly had worse servants, so... I think this is probably the worst rolls that I've gotten from a million Kuva, though. Fire rate sounds fun? Yeah, I agree. Any closing remarks from the peanut gallery on this Riven roll?
That was a It's good effort. We tried really hard to get what we needed,
Thank you.
and it just didn't.
Yeah, what he said.
You got very unlucky.
I got very unlucky? Okay, I believe you. I think I got normal lucky. But we'll take this.
Maybe I'm just luckier.
You definitely
Yeah.
are.
It's the streamer loot.
Yeah.
She gets streamer loot and you don't.
I get YouTuber loot, which is apparently garbage. So after we did the testing for punch through, and confirmed that it worked, and the wiki confirmed that it worked, and Mika confirmed that it worked, we have changed the build slightly. So I've removed one of the heat mods and I've replaced it with Sabot rounds. And then originally I had an attack speed mod here, so fire rate mod here. So this was automatic trigger before. So this is just better automatic trigger. If you can get a perfect riven for this, it would probably be something like multi-shot, punch through, and crit damage. But we didn't get that, so this is what we're working with. One thing I will be doing here also is I will be attaching a companion with Tenacious Bond equipped. The reason for this is because its crit damage is butt crack, and it turns out it's less butt crack if you have a companion on that does the crit damage for you. And in my opinion, I'm basically always going to have a companion with Tenacious Bond on. I don't really see a reason not to run it. So this is, in my opinion, something I'm just going to consider. Did we just get a crit buff and fuck this up? God damn it. 1 second. Wait, did you get one?
Yeah, fourth transmute. I get one.
Okay, so while we were doing this, I'm going to leave this in the video because it's really funny. So here's a screenshot of another Sabot rounds. These go for 70 plat right now. They're absolutely super expensive. The reason for that is because they only come from like 2 places. One is Profit Taker, and then the other place is it's not even like base Profit Taker. It's like tier 3 bounty for Profit Taker, and it's a 1% chance. So it's really, really uncommon from there. And then the other place is like a 5% chance. Actually, no, it's like 1 in 1,000 from raiders who invade your ship during railjack. So basically, you'll never see it. So it's a super expensive mod. If you have to get a riven for this, I think it's actually cheaper to get a riven and get punch through than it is to buy Sabot rounds. So keep that in mind. Like, you'd rather just not run it. But this weapon's pretty good now, as you can tell. It's let's show some Eximus too, just to prove the point. This thing is pretty stupid. Okay, we finished waiting. It's back. So it's pretty good. It's absolutely stupid. Last thing to look at is what this build looks like without the riven, because the previous one that I showed was like without Sabot rounds. And I think it's important to like give this a fair shot. So here's the non-riven build. Okay, this is the attempt without the riven. So Sabot rounds, pretty good. You don't need a riven for this weapon. Would I recommend using this weapon? Yes. Would I recommend using it with a riven? If you want to. I think there's probably better archguns that benefit from rivens more. I'm just going to use this one because it's comfy as hell, and because I just spent a million Kuva on a riven. So choose something else if you prefer it.
Million Kuva down, subpar riven to show for it.
Okay, the last thing that I'm going to be showing in this video is how well it does in ETA. So I'm just going to turn this off. Actually, you know what? We'll turn off everything. It doesn't change the level of the enemies at all, so we're just going to show it with, with whatever. These enemies are level 500-ish, so this is about the level that I need it to scale to. If the weapon doesn't, kill things at this level, then it's a fail. This weapon sucks. At least for my uses, and I'll probably switch to either Noko's new Archgun or something else for this, but this is kind of what I wanted it to do the most, is I wanted this to work. So hopefully this functions. If we're killing stuff fast, then it's good, and if it doesn't, then that's a good sign. It's looking pretty crazy right now. Okay, we're gonna be fine. It's like Giga Torrid. It's so good. Though I guess Torrid kind of does this at this level too. Okay, I'm very happy with this. This is looking like it's gonna be just fine. Like these are 475, I think. Like, I don't know. This is gonna be just okay. Something to note with this weapon. You don't necessarily need to run viral heats. Beam weapons tend to do best with damage status. So if you want to run like a blast electric build or something, like if you want to outsource viral, I think that's perfectly good. The only reason that I'm running viral heat is because I don't really expect to have the same loadout when I'm using this weapon all the time. This is entirely meant to be just an ETA loadout, right? This is basically just what I'm going to be running in ETA all of the time. Anytime there's an Archgun modifier, this is the weapon I'm going to be using. So don't really take this as like the best build ever. Just take it as a build that you can use if you want to. But yeah, I hope people enjoyed this video. This was actually really fun to make this time. I'm glad I decided to do all the recording with friends. So thank you to Sly and to Mika and to Syrup for helping me out with this. I've been pretty lucky in that, like, I've met a lot of really good friends from doing this Warframe stuff. So thank you to all of you guys. And let's do the outro. All right. Thank you, Demonic Foxy, for the Omniforma bundle. I didn't record this because I'm stupid. But thank you for sending me this. I said don't send me Forma, and they sent me Forma, so I guess thank you. And then Mortimer Lungfish, thank you for the Archon crystal decoration, I guess. Fish, I totally agree. Next video, not 100% sure. I do have a little bit of stuff I want to talk about with regards to Archguns. I think there's some really interesting stuff that we've gotten with the Arcanes that I haven't really seen anybody talk about. So I'm going to do my best to talk about those when I get a chance. And then we'll see where we go from there. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.